Today I want to share a story with you about how I negotiated $500,000 off the asking price for my client. Today I want to share with you a story of how I negotiated $500,000 off the asking price for my client. Last year my client came to me and they wanted to buy an investment property in the Point Grey area. So we looked around. They wanted to buy something that was land value and that they could tear down and build. So we looked around, we looked at some properties, and we found this property that was priced at around $3 million or so. At that time, it was overpriced. It was probably worth around $2.7 million. And then I talked to them. I asked the listing agent, what's the situation? And they're like, oh yeah, the seller wants to sell and that kind of thing. And we went to take a look at the home. It was in barely livable condition. So we negotiated, we wrote an offer. It was overpriced. It was worth about 2.7-ish, but at that time they had priced it for 3. They had actually received offers in like 2.9 and 2.8 before, when a little bit earlier in the market, but at that time the sellers wanted more money. So we wrote an offer. We actually came up with a strategy of how to get what they wanted, like a price much lower than what they were asking. So we wrote a really low offer, and at that time it was tax assessed around 2.1 million or so, like that, and we sent in an offer around $2 million. And then they were a little bit unhappy about it, but they countered. I said, give me a counter, we'll go from there. I said, any offer is better than no offer. So they wrote a counter and we countered back. The process dragged on because the sellers were really slow on getting back to us. The property was owned by multiple sellers and they had to have like a family meeting to negotiate. So it dragged on and on. We went and then they countered and then we countered back. They countered back, and every time the counter was pretty tight. They were pretty close to their 3 million. We were pretty close to our 2 million, but we tried to bridge the gap, and it was very exhausting. I thought there are no other offers, so might as well negotiate. The longer the negotiation, the more both parties want to make a deal. So I used that strategy to bridge the gap closer and closer. And eventually, after 7 back and forth offers, we finally got a deal at 2.5 million. At that time, right before we came to a deal at 2.5 million, a recent comparable sold in the area for 2.9. Pretty similar house, so I said the home was worth about 2.7. But all of a sudden, the comparable that sold for 2.9 immediately increased the market value for their home to about 2.9. But unfortunately, the listing agent didn't see that. We got a deal at 2.5. Deal done, and my client got an exceptional deal on this property. That was last year. The tax assessment for this year is 2.9 million. It's worth around 2.93 million. My client is pretty happy about that. The lessons you want to learn about this story are, any negotiation is better than no negotiations. Don't worry about it, whether your offer is too low or not. Just keep negotiating, and the more you negotiate with the other party, the more motivated they are to make a deal happen, because they have already invested time into the deal. This particular deal I negotiated for over a month. We went back and forth about seven or 8 times, and we finally got an exceptional deal. Once again, this doesn't happen in all deals, but in this particular instance, I incorporated that strategy and was able to get my client an exceptional deal. Let me know what you think. Have you ever had any of those experiences? Comment below. Subscribe if you haven't done so. Just a reminder, this is the Everything Real Estate channel. If you have any questions about real estate, whether you're interested in buying, selling, or investing, comment below and you may be responsible for the topic for the next video. Once again, it's Gary Wong from GaryWongRealty.com, and until next time, God bless you. Thanks guys for watching my video. Please subscribe and share with your friends. Email me if you have any more questions. Thank you. Hey guys, it's Gary Wong from GaryWongRealty.com again. People know me as the Christian Realtor. I'm also the author of the book on Vancouver Real Estate and a director for the Real Estate Board of Greater Vancouver, Vancouver West Side Division.